Word Mafia.
Hello, Internet. Welcome to another episode of Jesse's Corner. I'm Jesse, and I guess that's the corner? It's been a while since I used the corner. I'm still sitting on my couch. I just thought that's probably more interesting to look at while I talk. So, Ghostbusters 2016, the lady version. Who are you gonna call? I saw that at the end. It said, who are you gonna call under the Ghostbusters? And I thought, is that like the subtitle? I don't think it's the subtitle. Doesn't matter. A lot of hubbub about this movie. The trailers, admittedly, were not great. I didn't think they were offensive, but some people did. So, I wanted to give this movie a fair chance because I love Bridesmaids, and I liked, I just like Kristen Wiig and Saturday Night Live and all that stuff in general. Leslie Jones is one of the better castmates on the show right now. Same with Kate McKinnon. So, you know, give it a shot. And it was fine. I didn't see anything. Well, I'll get into that. This will be, for the most part, spoiler free. I will let you know when spoilers happen. It'll be at the very end after I give my score and all that. So for now, let's just stick with spoiler free stuff. Like I said, I liked the movie. The first, I guess like 20 minutes, half hour of the movie is like joke, 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 joke. And they're not like gut-wrenching jokes, like, oh, but it is humor, 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 humor. And if you pay attention and catch it, it's quite entertaining. You chuckle. You're like, oh, wow, ha, that's a funny joke. That kind of jokes. Throughout pretty much most of it, I might have, like, whoa, maybe twice in the whole movie. Near the middle, there is kind of a drop in the humor when they try to do some, I guess, character development, but kind of, it's barely character development, but like what the characters go through. And then a big action-y ending, which I thought was pretty cool. They do reference the original Ghostbusters a lot. All the surviving members of the Ghostbusters show up, and it's, you know, they're alright cameos. Some funnier than others. Of the three Ghostbusters movies, I would definitely say the original Ghostbusters is still better. But I would say that the new one is better than the second one. I think that's fair. It is a different universe than the original Ghostbusters. So, I thought it was alright that it's new, that it's not the new generation, because that would kind of belittle the new characters, saying they're not good enough to just come up with this stuff on their own. I thought the ghosts looked great. Special effects was pretty good, you know, for a comedy. But I thought it did a decent job with the overall look. I liked all the characters. There was no one in the movie I hated. Everyone was funny and they filled the role. Even the mayor, who's barely in it, he has some good jokes in there. I thought was pretty funny. That was one of the gut-wrenching ones, one of the jokes he did. When he gets really offended at near the end of the movie. The little thing he says I thought was pretty hilarious. But other than that, get up here, Sergeant. Other than that, most of the iconic ghosts from at least the original Ghostbusters show up. And everything makes sense. They kind of build up to being where the Ghostbusters should be, I guess, as far as where they are in the world by the end. And all I gotta really say is this was a good start, but it could have been better, but it was fine what it was. And if they do a sequel, I imagine it would be much better than this. Which is to say, great. This was a good movie. I think a sequel could be great. Or it could be terrible. Sequels, especially to comedies, especially Ghostbuster sequels, can be bad. So, it could go either way. Alright, time for a rating. On a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being Dragon Ball Evolution, 10 being Citizen Kane, and 5 being Ghostbusters 2, which is a good movie. If it's on TV, you're gonna watch it, but it's not gonna knock your socks off. I would give the newest Ghostbusters 6.1. 6.1. I think it's that much better than Ghostbusters 2, which is say better, you know. Don't knock a 6.1. That's not too far from what I gave Batman v Superman. I would say I like Batman v Superman more than this, which isn't totally fair to say because they're completely different movies. But you know, what are you gonna do? That one had more action and more fanboys for me. I've never been a huge Ghostbusters person. I like the movies, but yeah, I'm not like a fanatic. I don't have any Ghostbusters posters or toys, except for I guess Lego Dimensions. Doesn't matter. I will not be talking about spoilers for the movie, so if you don't want to get spoiled, you should probably end the video about now-ish. Just, you know, subscribe if you like it and want to watch more of my stuff. Go to my channel and click like and say in the comments, I love you, or something. I don't know. I don't know what people usually do in general. Let's talk spoilers. So, the thing I probably like the least about this movie is the villain. He didn't really get interesting until he became Chris Hemsworth. Chris Hemsworth makes a pretty cool villain. I liked, because he didn't really, he was just a random guy at first, and slowly you find out he read their book, and that's how he got the idea for all of this. But, yeah, I don't know. It's like, he was like them, but if they went in a darker place, if they didn't have each other, I guess was what they're trying to get to the point across. But that point didn't quite get across, you know. But him becoming a ghost is cool, and their hint of the next movies, with the villain being Zool, is interesting. That was the villain from the first Ghostbusters, who is like a pan-dimensional god of no specific gender. I think that would be interesting, especially if they make the villain the same Zool from the original Ghostbusters. By which I mean, well, after they defeat him there, Zool winds up in the new Ghostbusters universe, and maybe even references that Zool hates Ghostbusters, and that Zool has been beaten by Ghostbusters before, and won't get beaten again. I think that would be a cool twist, but I love parallel universe stuff. So that's just me, I guess. They can do whatever they want with Zool, I suppose. And, oh, the joke that really made me laugh. Because like I said, there's a lot of joke, and then kind of like, they get a little further apart, and then action scenes with some fun humor in it. One of the jokes that made me really laugh, though, was the mayor, when Kristen Wiig's character confronts him in like this gala. She's like, you gotta evacuate the city, and he's like, that's insane, we can't do that. And she's like, don't be like the mayor from Jaws. He's like, don't you ever compare me to the mayor from Jaws. I busted out laughing at that joke. Like, that shows that that mayor is self-conscious that he might be like the mayor from Jaws. Like, he knows that. That was funny to me. There's a lot of quick jokes that I feel like went over a lot of people's heads because how so quick and subtle they were. And then there's some stronger jokes, and there's a lot of childish humor in there too that's appreciated. There were quite a few kids in the theater with me, and they all loved it. So, you know, that's good. Kids like things even if they shouldn't. Does that make sense? Not to say that you shouldn't like this movie, but I'm just saying they're more accepting of movie because it's a movie, you know? As long as it's not boring with like history stuff, they're cool. If there's lights going on and there's fart jokes, they're all over it. That's all you need to win over kids. And I'm just a big old kid, I guess. But no, in all seriousness, even though this is a comedy, it's good. I have no serious complaints, other than, I guess they didn't push it far enough. But like I said, they could totally pull it out in the sequel. They could go all out, joke, maybe get someone else. I don't know who wrote the script for this one. I think it was the director, whose name I can't remember. But at one point, I mean, Chris Lord and Phil Miller were supposed to direct it. They do a lot of just scripts. I say just get them to write a script and then hand it over to this director guy, and he can tweak it to make it his own, and then make that. I don't know if they did that already for this one. But yeah, all you need is just bigger jokes, and I think you would have had it. Now, unfortunately, what this means is this movie is not good enough, as good as I think it is, which is, it's good. That means it's not good enough for some people to call it good at all. That means it's terrible in a lot of people's eyes, because if you can't reach the height of the original Ghostbusters, you failed. And I think that's unfair, but expected. Like, yeah, people are... I mean, I couldn't imagine if they did this to my beloved 80s franchise, Back to the Future. And if it was just this good, I'd probably think it was fine, actually. That's me. But I would understand if people were furious. Because it feels like you're just taking the name and dragging it through some dirt to get more money. And essentially that is what they're doing, but I don't know, I could tell at least the actresses in the movie cared. I think they all cared and they all tried. And I thought they did fine. And I look forward to a sequel where they do better. I hope. That's all, I guess. Don't remake Back to the Future, though. Okay? Can we all agree? Just don't remake Back to the Future.